NHS doctor struck off over botched circumcision continues performing the procedure legally as a lay practitioner. A former NHS doctor who was struck off the medical register over a reckless circumcision that nearly killed a toddler is continuing to perform the procedure legally as a lay practitioner, raising serious concerns about child safety and gaps in UK regulation. Zubair Bucks, 55, was removed from the General Medical Council (GMC) register in 2021 following findings of serious professional misconduct. Despite this, he continues to advertise and carry out circumcisions on babies for religious and cosmetic reasons across northwest England. Campaigners and child protection advocates have described the situation as a catastrophic failure of safeguarding, warning that current UK law allows unregulated individuals, including former doctors struck off for misconduct, to perform circumcisions without medical training. Case that led to being struck off. The GMC struck off Dr. Bucks after an NHS complaint relating to the circumcision of a 15-month-old boy, referred to during proceedings as Patient A. The procedure was carried out in a community setting despite the child having a known heart condition. A series of medical failures during the procedure led to the child being transferred urgently to hospital amid fears for his life. In its ruling, the GMC panel stated that Dr. Bucks had adopted a reckless and cavalier approach and placed the child in a potentially life-threatening situation. The panel concluded that his misconduct was so serious that removal from the medical register was the only appropriate sanction to protect the public and maintain confidence in the medical profession. Serious failings identified. The tribunal identified multiple failings, including failure to consider the child's heart condition, failure to properly inform the parents of the risks, inadequate pain relief with anesthetic cream deemed ineffective, administration of excessive doses of liquid morphine. The panel also noted that Dr. Bucks showed limited insight into his actions, no clear remorse, and offered no explicit apology. Continuing practice despite being struck off. Despite being barred from practicing medicine, Mr. Bucks continues to operate a private circumcision service, describing himself as a circumcision practitioner. Under UK law, circumcision is not a regulated medical procedure, meaning there is no legal requirement for practitioners to be medically trained or registered. His website states that he has been performing circumcisions since 2003 and was formerly a senior GP partner. While it acknowledges he is no longer registered with the GMC, it does not explain the reasons for his removal. He currently offers services for babies up to 6 months old in towns including Blackburn, Preston, Bolton, Burnley, Accrington, and Nelson. Wider pattern and previous cases. Data obtained by the National Secular Society through Freedom of Information requests shows that at least 3 doctors were struck off by the GMC between 2012 and 2022 over botched circumcisions. In a similar case, private circumciser Mohammed Siddiqui continued performing circumcisions after being struck off in 2015. He was later sentenced to more than 5 years in prison for causing gratuitous pain and suffering to children. Growing legal and public concern. The issue has come under renewed scrutiny following recent revelations that the Crown Prosecution Service is considering guidance that would categorize circumcision as potential child abuse in certain circumstances. Since 2001, circumcision has been linked to at least 7 child deaths in the UK, including 3 cases involving fatal bleeding. Judges, coroners, and medical professionals have increasingly called for stronger regulation and oversight. Campaigners call for reform. Alejandro Sanchez, head of human rights at the National Secular Society, said the case exposes a serious failure of child protection. The fact that someone struck off for reckless misconduct can legally continue circumcising children is a catastrophic safeguarding failure. He added that non-therapeutic circumcision should only be performed by doctors and only when medically necessary, arguing that irreversible procedures should be deferred until an individual is old enough to make their own decision. Response awaited. Zuber Bucks has been approached for comment. As the debate intensifies, pressure is mounting on the government to introduce tighter regulation, mandatory medical standards, and clearer safeguarding rules to prevent further harm to children.